And we are live. It's Dr. J here in the house. Today we're going to be doing a live chat on what to do with lung infections, bronchitis, inflammation of the respiratory tract. What can we do? Again, it's the winter season, so we are at higher risk. So before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button. Really helps the YouTube algorithm. I'll give you a second. All right, there you go. Put your comments below. Let me know things that have you done in the past to help address breathing and lung infections. All right, so let's dive in here. I'll answer some questions at the end if we have enough time as well. So first off, lung infections, holiday season, winter season, we have lower vitamin D. That's going to decrease our immune response, right? Adequate levels of vitamin D, 50 to 70 on the typical United States scale is kind of where we want to be. If we have autoimmune issues, maybe even a little bit higher, 70 to 100 or so. Vitamin D helps us produce this antibacterial compound called cathelicidin, which helps knock down bacteria, right? This can help decrease our risk of coming down with a lung infection. So we have different infections like pneumonia, and pneumonia could be mycoplasma pneumonia. It could be streptococcus pneumonia. Those are kind of the big ones. It could be a viral infection. It could be the common flu. It could also be like an adenovirus or syncytial virus. RSV is another one. So it could be a viral issue potentially. Most viral issues that have like the common cold kind of symptoms, runny nose, cough, those kind of things, are not going to be the flu, right? I think there's a study from the Cochrane database showing that I think 88% of flu-like symptoms weren't the flu. So you may have another kind of virus. And remember, those type of infections, they aren't going to help you against antibiotics aren't going to work against them. So if you have an infection like that, antibiotics will not help. Now, there's streptococcal pneumonia, which is your typical pneumonia. Then you're going to have mycoplasma pneumonia, which can linger longer. That's like your typical walking pneumonia. And if these things progress too far, you may need antibiotics. That may be the way you have to go. Our goal is to kind of get on top of this faster and sooner so these issues are not a problem. So what do? First thing is I'm making sure I'm drinking enough high quality filtered clean water. I'm keeping sugar consumption under control. That's going to make a huge difference because sugar is going to decrease your macrophage activity. And macrophages are what gobbles up bacteria. And so if we get exposed to a bacteria in the environment, are having good macrophage functions and help. So lots of glucose, typically refined processed sugar, which is usually sucrose or high fructose corn syrup, which is usually 55, 45 glucose and fructose, or fructose and glucose, fructose being a little higher, glucose being the smaller amount. That's going to decrease your immune response. It's also going to compete for vitamin C. So it's going to make vitamin C work less to support your immune system. So we have kind of diet and lifestyle strategy. Sleep's really important to help with recharging your immune system. Stress. So high levels of cortisol can suppress your immune response. That's why the more stressed you get, the least amount of sleep you get. Remember, sleeps help recharge your immune system, helps you process your emotional stress. So all of these things are going to impact your immune function. Now, we could do things like adaptogens. So I'm a big fan of ashwagandha. I take it every day. So ashwagandha is going to really help with your immune response in general. So love adaptogens, rhodiola, ginseng, ashwagandha, eleuthero, really good for your immune system. We may do medicinal mushrooms like reishi, cordyceps, lion's mane. These are going to help stimulate your natural killer cells. They're also going to help deactivate viruses. The tridipene content in there will help deactivate viruses. The 1,3-beta glucan is very helpful for supporting your immune function and increasing your natural killer cells as well. We may do things like astragalus, which is going to bump up your immune response. It's going to help B cell production from your spleen. A golden seal. So I've got a couple things right here. Right on my desk here as we're chatting. So over there in the corner. So astragalus, echinacea. Make sure we get the whole root in there, not just the flower. A lot of the cheaper ones will just have the flower, okay? We're going to do golden seal, which is really great for your immune system. We may do like the medicinal mushrooms like I mentioned. Reishi is one of my favorite. Cordyceps is great. Lion's mane. Excellent, excellent, excellent. We're going to do vitamin D. We may do andrographis. Astragalus is great for our B cells and it's going to help our B cells, which come later on to help attack the infection. See, vitamin D, like I already mentioned, echinacea, like I already mentioned. Now, a couple things I've been playing around with is I've been nebulizing glutathione. So there's a special kind of glutathione. I actually have it in my other office. It's glutathione, and it's sodium bicarbonate with a reduced form of glutathione. So it's got glutathione, 200 milligrams, and it's got sodium bicarb, nothing else in it. Now, you need this kind of glutathione because we'll add saline solution that's designed for a nebulizer, and that basically it dissolves when it hits that saline solution. That allows it to be nebulized. You can't take regular liposomal or any other kind of glutathione that's not designed like that. And then we can nebulize it. So I use the Philips nebulizer. It's a portable one. There's one by Omron as well that are great. I'll put some links down below of things that I use. We'll put it in there, we'll dissolve it, we'll add 5 mLs of saline solution, and then we'll inhale and exhale that for about 4 to 5 minutes. And there's a lot of studies on nebulizing glutathione, helping with the immune system, helping with especially locally, if we can get it into the lungs, right? If we can get it into the respiratory tract, right? Into the bronchi, into the lungs, into all the capillaries. It's one, it's going to help with the inflammation. 2, it's going to help with the immune response. And 3, it's going to help with recovery because glutathione is your most powerful antioxidant. It's a tripeptide, so it will help with the inflammation from the infection. Number 2, we may want to use a very small silver, like a Sovereign silver. In my line, we use GI Clear 3, which is a nano silver, very small, 15 ppm or less. Don't do it with cheap, bigger silver molecules. And you can add that in with saline solution, and we can breathe that in for 4 to 5 minutes, which is, I don't see a ton of studies on that one personally. There's a lot on the glutathione, but there's some studies using silver, but not a lot nebulizing it. But I've seen it clinically work very well because you can get the silver into your lungs. It's small enough where it's going to get into your bloodstream and you can urinate it out. It's not going to get stuck there, right? We're talking very, very small particles. And it's going to help with the viruses. It's going to help with RSV or any kind of virus that could be in that area. So silver can be very helpful for lung viruses or respiratory viruses. And we can also do the glutathione on top of that, which is great for the inflammation, for the oxidative stress. It's also going to help improve your immune response. Glutathione does help modulate your T regulatory cells, which help with your Th1, Th2 immune response. Th1 is your natural killer, kind of Navy SEAL special team immune response, the first people to the defense. Th2 is kind of that later, after the fact, infantry coming in down the road via, the antibody response. So the glutathione helps modulate that along with vitamin D. So I like some of these natural nebulized methods because we can target that area. When you take herbs, whether it's medicinal mushrooms or astragalus or echinacea or golden seal, you're going to have a systemic immune response, which is great. You want that preventative, you want that whole body immune response. But when you know there's an infection in a specific area of the body, you want to be able to target it more specifically. So the nebulizer works great for that. And I may do a video actually showing how to actually use it. So we may nebulize 200 milligrams of reduced glutathione. We may add 5 mLs of saline solution to it, let it dissolve, and then we may nebulize that, breathe it in for 4 or 5 minutes till it's completed. We may nebulize anywhere between 30 to 90 droppers of silver, 10 ppm or less, 10 part per million or less or so. That can be super helpful to target the respiratory area. All right, any questions so far? We can also use sauna therapy, which is amazing. So I have a red light Juve in my biohacking lab over there behind me. Also have an infrared sunlight and sauna. Those are all great methods to kind of vasodilate, open the capillaries, which helps kind of push stuff out. The red light's great because you can really supercharge your mitochondria. It really helps your immune response as well. All right, any questions? Feel free and chime in, y'all. I think I got a couple of things here I'm going to hit up before we go. Excellent. So why does coffee make me itchy at night? Could be a histamine issue. Try to keep the questions on topic, y'all. Thoughts on vitamin C for infections? Yeah, so vitamin C works great. It does increase glutathione. Vitamin C does help with macrophage and the immune system. So yes, you can go, typically I'll do a vitamin C calibration between 5 to 10 grams of vitamin C or just below bowel tolerance. You can always taper it up, wait for your stools to get loose and then back up and back off till it solidifies again. Lisa writes, and does it do any good to take a vitamin and mineral supplement if I'm not digesting well? Yeah, because you're still going to digest some of it, right? Especially if it's in a well processed, very small processed form, right? If vitamin C is in a powder form broken down, you're going to absorb it more than not, if you will. Dr. J, what adaptogen supplements would you recommend for someone working nights? I mean, I would use my Adrenal Revive, which is a combination of rhodiola, ginseng, ashwagandha, and eleuthero. I like that combination. It works phenomenal. That's be my favorite. But any of those separately would be great, but in general, a good blend I think would work very well. What form of ashwagandha do you like best? I heard KSM66 is the best. So yeah, regarding ashwagandha, like that's a KSM66 is like a specific standardized extract. You can just make sure if you get the ashwagandha, the whole root is ideal, and make sure it's from a reputable company like mine where I get my ashwagandha. We're third-party lab testing it to ensure there's no lead and other crap in it. You're going to get what you pay for, because a lot of times the ashwagandha and those herbs come from China, where there's a lot more pollution. That pollution drops down into the soil and can contaminate lead and all these other compounds in the herb. So you want someone that's third-party testing it to ensure the quality is good. With all the outbreaks via countries, communities, theme parks, are people with autoimmune issues more susceptible to those who don't have any health issues? Yeah, if you have an autoimmune response, typically your Th2 part of the immune system is higher, right? And your Th1 is lower. So Th2 is the immune antibody response. The Th1 is your natural killer cell. That's like your initial defense system, right? So imagine like your natural killer would be like the bodyguard outside your house standing watch. And then think of your Th2 as like you inside of the house kind of reaching for the gun after someone's open the door, right? So we want that first line of defense stronger. So if you have an autoimmune issue, yeah, those natural killer cells may be lower. So, washing your hands, those kind of things, maybe doing the nebulizer. Glutathione, of course, is going to be excellent. Excellent. I take NP thyroid, 90 milligrams for hypothyroidism. Is it safe to take moringa while taking thyroid meds? I mean, regarding thyroid, that's a whole different issue, but as long as you're taking it away from the thyroid medication, it should be okay. What results have you seen with nebulized glutathione? Can you please do a step-by-step video on how to use this? Yeah, I will. I'll do a video on that. I think that'd be a great idea. Did plant sterols increase DHEA? Is it important to supplement with it? I mean, what kind of plant sterols are you talking about? Like various herbs, you mean? Like various adaptogenic kind of compounds? Yeah, things like eleuthero can definitely have an effect on that. Would NAC supplements help with a lung infection? Well, it would help with glutathione, for sure. It would definitely help with it. But remember, you want to get the glutathione up in the lungs, and it's going to take a lot longer to do that. So if you had an acute infection, nebulizing it's better. You could even do an IV. Again, not as good as nebulized if you want to get it to the lungs, but you'll increase your levels much faster. After I returned from the military, I had a really bad flu. They gave antibiotics. I had a terrible chest pain. And specifically after I smoke or cough, I continued for 4 months. Can it be inflammation or anything else? Yeah, I mean, it could easily just be a lingering infection. It could be walking pneumonia. Who knows? But this is where doing something to target that area off the bat, I think would be great. And remember, if you're going to get antibiotics, right, for a chest infection or for pneumonia or for strep, whatever, see if they can test you for it, some kind of a fast strep test. Just because you want to make sure that you don't have a viral issue and then you're treating with antibiotics, because then you're going to wipe out your gut and that's going to compromise you more in the future. So try to make sure you get tested so you don't take antibiotics for no reason. Again, if you wait too long or you're not able to get in front of it, you may have to go to antibiotics. It's not our goal though, but we got to make sure that we're on top of it. Just finished last week, antibiotics for bronchitis. Now I'm so bloated. What can I do to help my gut after meals? I mean, we should definitely be on a really good probiotic regimen to kind of knock things down. May even want some Saccharomyces, maybe even a little bit of clearing herbs in case we have a little bit of rebound bacterial overgrowth, meaning dysbiotic bacteria. That could be an issue. Need inhaler every couple of days. No bronchitis, no pneumonia, say asthma. Taking good, but bees, fenugreek, sinus support, pulmonary arrest, endo process. What's next? Hard to say. You're doing a lot. I need a little more info on what's going on. There's a lot of mucus too. What test is good for any? So you'd have to ask your doctor regarding what kind of test they would use for the bacteria. Usually some kind of a culture, and they'd be able to look at that. Also, when you have respiratory issues, you want to make sure you're flushing out your sinuses. So I'll use a nasoline with the Neti X-Lee or package, the xylitol. You can even mix some silverine with that. The xylitol is great. The minerals are great. And then you're going to flush out each of your sinuses because, of course, a respiratory infection can start here in your nose and then move to your eustachian tubes to your ear or go down the throat and into the lungs. So remember, sinus infections start here. So preemptively flushing things out can be super Super helpful. What's the best food other than amino acids that make up glutathione? So grass-fed meat's going to be awesome. From a processed source, whey protein, if you can tolerate it, is great. But any of your high-quality animal products. I'm taking Forestall by Designs for Health, if you are familiar with it. God, I forget what's in that product, but feel free to put the ingredients there. Regarding ashwagandha, what is the optimal time to take it? It just depends. Also, for those who have thyroid and levothyroxine and also no gallbladder. So it depends. Typically, morning and afternoon's pretty good. If you're having a hard time sleeping, ashwagandha can also help with nighttime as well. So it just depends upon your sleep issues, but morning and afternoon's a pretty good default. And if we have sleep issues, we may want to also take it later as well. All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to do a video on sinus flushing as well as respiratory nebulizing. I think it's very helpful to kind of have some of these tools in your pocket. All right, y'all, hope this video was helpful. Give me a thumbs up, smash that like button, comments below. Let me know what you've done personally. Share this video with any family or friends that could benefit, that could be going through an infection like this. All right, excellent, y'all. You guys have a phenomenal day. Take care. Bye.